This is an introductory video to the heating system at 2396 Ames Hill Road. It all starts here at the thermostats. We have two thermostats. One controls the oil heat and one controls the wood heat. On the left, that's the wood heat thermostat. On the right, that's the oil heat. You can tell the difference because when you kick on the oil heat, you immediately hear the burner start to fire. It sounds like a low rumbling sound beneath your feet. You might be able to hear it on this video. So that's the oil heat. When you put on the wood heat, you don't hear almost any sound at all, except you possibly might hear the little motor on the flue kick in, opening the flue to provide air to the wood stove. Let's see if we can hear it. That was it. Now we're going to go down and take a look at the furnace. Okay, here we are in the furnace room, and what you have here is a combination wood on the bottom, wood stove, oil, with a plenum on the top that's forced hot air into the house. Plenum is automatically activated by the heat of the stove, whether it's the oil burning or the wood burning. With the oil, there's nothing for you to worry about down here. The oil gets fed in through this pipe and burns just like any other oil burner. The wood part of the stove has two chambers. The top, like any wood stove, that's where you put the wood in. We'll have another video later just showing how to actually build a fire in there. The bottom, on the bottom here, this is the flue that's controlled by the thermostat. This is the little electric motor that operates the flue. When you turn the thermostat on, the flue opens like this. And when you reach temperature, it will automatically close. So it'll automatically open and close at whatever temperature you have the thermostat set to. You have manual control over this part, where you can let more or less air flow through there at all times. Now at night, when you go to sleep, you load up the top chamber with logs. You got 18-inch logs. You can put 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 logs in there. You turn the thermostat down to like 65, or whatever your choice is. That will close the flue, and we usually leave it about halfway. Leave these holes about halfway open, and that will slowly keep the fire stoked through the night. When you get up in the morning and turn the turn the thermostat on upstairs, it'll open the flue, it'll start more air going through, and it will reignite. You'll still have some logs in there that will start a burn, and you can kind of get that going and come down and check it and add wood as needed. The final thing I'll show you in this stage is just the plenum. There's a manual override on the plenum, which is this silver box right here, and you can start it by pressing that button. So sometimes we will do that when we're starting the fire, because it will start to circulate warm air before the firebox gets up to temperature. What you have to remember is you have to manually shut that off, and then from that point forward it will automatically be triggered by the thermostat. So that's all for this section of the video. In the next section I'm going to show you how you build a fire. Alright, now in this part of the video I'm just going to show you the basics of building a fire. You probably know how to build a fire. It starts up here in the wood box, and John's going to come over here. I'm just going to show you a couple things. You can see the grating in there is all clear. There's a lever over here on this side that controls the grating, and that allows you to put any debris into the bottom of the ash box if you need to do that. So you usually just start with some kindling wood, you'd wrap it in newspaper, and you'd light it with a match. And the important thing is to have enough air circulation. You'll open this manually, open the whole thing. If you just use the flue, it's really not enough air to get the fire going. So you start with the kindling, Then you just feed the logs in there. We have 18-inch logs, and you just put them into the firebox, and really that's all there is to it. The way we usually do it is when we get when the kindling's going enough to get a good burn going, and we have a couple of logs in there, that's when we would open the flue upstairs. So this would be in this position, open, and then we would close this manually with this remaining open. And that's what will keep the air going. Through use, you'll come to understand the kind of the feel for it and decide for yourself, you know, when it's best to use the manual and when it's best to rely on the flue. But that's pretty simple. The other thing to know about is that this bottom section, this houses the ash box. So as the fire burns down, the ash gets collected in this box. Depending how much wood you're burning, if you're burning it 24 hours a day through the winter, probably have to change this every couple of days. You have to check it, because if the ash builds up and meets the grates, you're not going to get any air circulation. So this is what an ash box looks like when there's ash in it. You just take it out. This is a handle to carry it with. You need gloves. This part's very hot. And when you're done, it's empty. You're able to slide it right back in and close this up. And that's really about it for the ash. The ash is good to be used on ice in the driveway. I use it usually on the ramp that goes up to the road. That's where I put almost all my ash all winter, is on the icy ramp going up to the road. Otherwise, you have to dispose of this with your trash. This isn't something you should put into your compost. It's too much and too acidic. It's not something you should just spill over the land. So that's it for the firebox, the ash box, the plenum. I think that's all you need to know.